Years. Anyone else? You don't have to talk about that. It's not an accomplishment. The achievement is that I've been alive for 10 years in New York City, and because it's just such a crazy, demented place to live. I can't believe that we all live here by choice. I was walking on my way here tonight. I saw a wheelchair chained to a signpost. A wheelchair chained to a signpost. And it just was so obscene to me, that we live in this city where you have to chain your wheelchair to a signpost after a long, hard day of pretending to be handicapped. Like, what kind of a world? What kind of a city? Anyone else on a... How's your New Year's resolutions doing, guys? You shit the bed yet? Anyone? I was on a New Year's diet resolution. I had big plans. I was like, okay, this year I'm going to lose 25 big ones. 25. I know. Where is it going to come from? The butt, mostly. But it may seem obscene to you. I like to use that word, obscene. It may seem weird, but the truth is that I don't think I'm like obese or anything. But I felt like I had a little bit of a problem because when I would go to put on my pull up my boots, I would get a muffin top on my calf, like right there, and that's how I knew something was wrong. Because see, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, my whole life I've been a medium build woman. Medium. They call me big boned. I've gotten that. I've gotten athletic. Brick shit house has come up a time or two. I prefer gold-plated latrine, but that's okay. Brick shit house, fine. But the truth is, nothing good really ever happens to medium build women, right? There's never the lead in a movie is medium build, or there's never the millionaire winner is never a medium built white woman. That never happens. What usually happens is, what happened to me, what made me realize this is I was rewatching Silence of the Lambs. And you know that scene where the guy's like, are you about a size 14? You look about a size 14. Like right before he punches the shit out of this girl and then, steals her. It hit me. It dawned on me. I'm just a size or two away from being big enough for a man to wear me as a shirt. And, that to me was kind of a wake-up call, if you will. So we're in Chinatown. Happy New Year, everybody. It's Chinese New Year. And I live here. I live right down the street in a beautiful apartment that smells like Chinese meat all the time. And I love living there. My fiance and I live there together, and he hates it. He gets up and every morning he's just like, ugh, like that. He just looks around the apartment in disdain and he's like, I want to move to Bushwick. And that's how you know things are really shitty. When your boyfriend's like, let's move to, I want to risk, I'd rather be a pioneer than deal with this. Because that's kind of what it is. A little bit like, but this is a little ditty that I wrote about Chinatown. It goes like this. I think I might need a stool. Grab this stool right here. Look at this. I'm my own stagehand. Yeah. I got it. I did it. No need these. I'm a woman of the 90s. I can do stuff on my own. Thank you. I actually was thinking to myself, you know what? There's so many feisty women in this show tonight, right? Isn't it great? Right? Feisty women are just a dime a dozen these days. I think I'm going to just get back in the kitchen, if that's okay with everyone, and just I'm going to bring back an old trend. Just renew anew. All right. Here's a song about Chinatown. Here goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're a little out of tune here. I did drop my ukulele. Well, it got kicked over, dropped, same thing. There we go. Okay, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. In Chinatown, the people are quiet. anything, and you can make a living ESL teaching in Chinatown. In Chinatown, people speak Chinese, and I can do whatever I please. The Asian boys are hot and stacked, and I understand them, so they never talk back in Chinatown. Chinatown, the rent is lower, the pace of life is so much slower. I live in a magic Chinese tower, and back rub costs $20 an hour in Chinatown, without a happy ending. You just look down in Chinatown. In Chinatown, I'm a special prize. Whereas when I date Whitey, he's got eyes in his eyes. I don't want it to change, so don't you come around. Stay the hell out of my Chinatown. Make Chinese friends, they're friends at work, 'cause someday the meek shall inherit the earth. And don't you believe the tiny penis lies? They were made up by white guys. You know who you are. Who were trying to buy Chinatown. Thank you. So, hey guys, how's it going? There's some people over there in the hall. I'm not just waving to the wall. That would be typical behavior of me, but you guys can come on through it. So what's new? Oh, I'm from Maine. Anyone else from Maine? Any Mainers in the audience? Really, you're from Maine?
I had family.
That's not. You're not. I lost my virginity to a girl from Maine once. That's what they always say. She lives in Canada, right? You have relatives in Maine? Do you know what part? Bangor, right?
Off Rockland.
Okay.
Down east.
That's where my dad lives, actually. He lives in Rockland. I wonder if we're related. I wonder if your dad is my dad. That'd be weird. I have relatives there. I grew up there. Basically, I grew up with the people in Stephen King's novels for Neighbors. That's how I grew up. That's my kind of life. It's where I'm coming from. So if you think I seem kind of like, I don't know, serial killery, I'm not, but I could see how you could make that mistake, because that was my influential atmosphere, were the people that Stephen King wrote about. And a lot of people ask me if I ever met Stephen King, and I'm like, met him? No, never. Not even one time. I never even saw his house. Because some people do that. Some people go to his house. It's like a trip. They're like, and we're going to go to Bangor, and we're going to see Stephen King's house. And, yeah, I don't know what's interesting about that. Stephen King is, I actually kind of have a little bit of a crush on him. My first adult book was Cujo. And I do have a little bit of there's a little part of me that kind of does like Stephen King, but I haven't really been any place, really. I've been, I was born in Maine, born and raised. Nothing to do, I'm sorry, I wasn't born in Maine. That's a lie. I was born in Connecticut. I don't know why I just told you. I was born in Maine. I don't know why you would lie about that. It's like a weird thing to lie about. Where were you born? 500 miles south of where I was actually born. I don't know why I would lie about that. But I grew up in Maine. I spent a long time growing up there. And by growing up, I mean mostly just like having sex in the woods. That's Maine, a lot of it with the trees. And I lost my virginity to a birch tree. I grew up in a small town. No, not that birch tree. That's a different kind of wood. That word is petrified. That's petrified. No, I don't know why I said that. That was weird. I would totally. All right, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, Maine. I like Maine. I think Maine is a fun place. But growing up there, now that I'm older, I can look back and say, wow, it was kind of a really beautiful, interesting, cold, serene, lonely existence I led. But when I was a child, I was like, dying with boredom. It was the most driest, child-hating place to grow up. And every day, me and my friends, we had nothing to do. We did the same thing. We went to this little sort of after-school hangout, and we would just play that game, Spin the Bottle, every day under these bleachers, so like nobody could see us. And we just played Spin the Bottle, and I'd never get to kiss the kid I wanted to kiss, because, you know, I was really just, even as a child, even in a place where everybody was, you know, the people that Stephen King wrote about, I was still odd. And so I'd never get to kiss the kid I wanted to kiss. I'd always end up having to kiss my best friend's dad for some reason. He was always playing. It was very embarrassing. I'd always be like, hey, Tim, do you think your dad can sit out around? And I'd always be like, well, my dad brought the bottle. So there was like, bring the bottle, you get to play. So I'm going to play one more song, I guess. And this song is just a little quick ditty about Scotland. I went to Scotland a couple years ago. I did a show. You guys are famous in Scotland. How do you like Scotland? Yeah, it's awesome. I like Scotland, okay. I really don't have anything exciting or bad to say about it. I've been there. I've spent months and months of my life there, and I still can't do a Scottish accent properly. Every time I do a Scottish accent, it kind of turns Japanese and French and Scottish, English, French. I don't know who I am. I don't. I can't even do it. I give up. Irish. But while I was there, I brought a guy there with me. A child man. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. And we broke up. No big deal, no biggie. We broke up. You know, people break up sometimes. But what do you do when you break up in another country? Well, you buy a ukulele and you write a song about it, and that's what I did, and it goes like this. Well, my boyfriend and I split apart in Scotland when we were over there to do a show as a folk rock band. Thank you, I wrote that rhyme myself. And nothing could subdue the pain that I went through except for booze. Lots of it. And pot. You know, like the best pot. Like the pot that killed Bruce Lee. A+. And the strangers come. Only a stranger's cock can take the pain away. Everybody now. Only a stranger's cock can take the pain away. Even for gays. Hey, thank you, everybody. That's my tip for the evening. My name is Delfino, and I'm online at